and became the most watched show in the world. I'll take that. Now, we're having dinner tonight. Dean's a good buddy of mine. I like Dean a lot.
Hi, Kevin. You've been in a lot of TV shows, and it seems like every one of them, you're a hero. What did it feel like to be the guy who came in between America's sweethearts, Dharma and Greg?
Yes, I did a 4-show arc on Dharma and Greg. For a sitcom, that was actually quite a bold thing for them to do, to have Dharma almost think about cheating on her husband. And I did a couple of Chuck Lorre shows. I did 2.5 Men as well. I did Sybil Shepherd. That was his first one. They had talked a long time about me being Sheldon's dad, the big jock dad who's upset. But now if you see young Sheldon, you can see the guy that cast there, and I wouldn't really mix too well together. But yeah, I mean, it was very, like I said, kind of a bold move for them to do something like that. But I had a lot of fun in that show. It was just I loved doing sitcoms. I did a sitcom after Andromeda finished that I helped create, and I hired Barry Kemp to write it. If you don't know Barry Kemp, you know his work. He created the Bob Newhart series. He created a little show called Coach with Craig T. Nelson. We did a show for ABC. It tested #1 of 28 new shows for them. It's called Bobby Cannon. Go to YouTube and look at it. Tested #1, and they didn't pick it up. To this day, it fucks the crap out of me. Very, very funny half-hour sitcom. Bobby Cannon. I played someone we can all boo here. I played the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And I was at the end of my career, but you know, in Michigan Avenue, the bar was Cannon's. The name of it was Bobby Cannon. I owned this restaurant, great food, great sports hangout. Kate Walsh was in it, playing my biographer before she went on to do private practice. Rocky Carroll is now in NCIS. He played my sports agent. We had a great cast. And seriously, go on YouTube and check out Bobby Cannon. And it was all about, you know, it was the NFL draft day. We got big real guys from ESPN up on a big screen to do like the drafting. And I figured I'm going to get an offensive lineman. They drafted a quarterback out of Texas A&M, and I realized my days are now numbered. And so she sees I'm depressed. Kate Walsh comes over to talk to me, and she says, well, there must be something else you can do. And I said, look, all I've ever known since I was a kid is how to throw a football. I mean, I guess I could be governor or something. And that was at the time Schwarzenegger was governor in California. But it shocks me to this day it wasn't picked up. And we finally got a meeting with the ABC president about 2 months later, because we were both just livid. Barry said, this is the best thing I've ever written. And he said, you know, I just thought it was too old. He makes the decision. You guys don't realize how many shows you don't see because of one person at each network that makes the decisions. He said, I thought it was too old-fashioned, like Everybody Loves Raymond, that had just gone off the air 1 year earlier after 9 years. And I looked at him and said, yeah, you wouldn't want one of those, would you? He was president for 2 more years there, and he banned me from anything on ABC. That's how petty the industry is. He was so good as the president there, they were last place in all their shows. But the minute they fired him, that's when they got Modern Family and everything else to boost them up again.
One other question?
Yeah.
Can I shake your hand?
Sure. That'll be $500.
Hey, man, on the way out. Hey, how's it going, dude?
Good, how you doing?
Good. I'm a huge golfer, so what are the best golf courses you've ever played?
There's too many. Hazel Kingdom, Minnesota, where the Ryder Cup a couple years ago was a great course. Obviously, Spyglass, Pebble Beach, all those courses. Abandoned Dunes. Go to Abandoned Dunes, check it out. I'm at North Ranch Country Club, which is a beautiful Pepperdine University's home course. It's about a mile from my house. I know you guys all heard about the fires. I got to throw this out real quick in California. I landed in Indianapolis to do a speaking event. I have a book that's out, and I do a lot of speaking on it. And my wife, I landed at 5 o'clock. It was 5 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock in LA. And my wife calls me up. She says, there's a fire starting out by Newberry Park, which is about 10 miles away. And so we'll keep an eye on it. I wake up very easily, and my phone is next to me, and she texts me, and there's a sound that woke me up. And she looks, she says, we have to evacuate the neighborhood. And I'm freaking out. And I'm trying to text back, but because they were busy rushing to get the heck out of Dodge. I turn on Channel 5 on my computer, which is a local KTLA in LA, and I'm watching these flames everywhere. And somebody says in KTLA, can you please show the streets? Because they're right over there, they say, we're in this area, that's my area. They put the streets down, and I'm looking, and I was in shock. 3 homes in my neighborhood, dead end street, fully engulfed in flames, one next to mine. So I'm flipping out, saying, my house is gone. I finally go to my wife, she goes, Kevin, there's nothing you can do. Just do your speaking event at noon tomorrow and fly home. I get home at 8 o'clock, got to the house. The fire came up on 4 sides. On 2 sides came within 3 feet of my house and stopped. It's a bloody miracle that my house didn't go down. We still can't figure it out. You look at the trees in my, it's unbelievable. So it's scary. There was something protecting me, trust me. It was a miracle that thing didn't go down, but people lost stuff a lot, you know. It was crazy. You see the video footage of it. I saw it happening on Malibu. I mean, 20, 30-foot flames. And they said it was moving with the winds. It was moving 100 yards every 10 seconds. You can't even outrun that. Pretty crazy. They were just miles and miles everywhere. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in.
Do you want to get into DVD?
What time is it?
We got about 7 minutes.
That's it. Where's here she comes? You put it up and I'll have them decide what they want. I made my own DVD of just little chapters of Hercules, and she'll put the chapters up here. So make sure you just freeze it, but then we'll play. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So it came in a little late, so I apologize. But everyone in the room knows you as Hercules. Some people know you as Dylan Plankton and various other roles you've had. And that's probably enough how you'll be remembered, better or worse. But what do you wish you were known as, or wish you were remembered for, kind of as a person?
Probably a good husband and father, I hope, you know. But I'm also very proud. I'm very proud of my after-school program. I have the #1 after-school program in the state of California for 21 straight years now. It's called the World Fit for Kids. And I work with over 12,000 kids in the inner city schools of LA. And LA Unified, over those 21 years, has had an overall average of 54% dropout rate, starting as low as 5th grade. So look at the problems they have in LA. We average a 98% graduation rate and a 67% higher GPA. So, what are we doing in our public schools? California ranks 48th. They're the 3rd worst public educated state in the country. What are we doing? What is the LA Unified hates me? I mean, what am I doing during my 3 hours you guys can't do? And I don't get paid. This is, I have a staff that gets paid. We're a nonprofit. We raise about $3 million a year through different various sources. A World Fit for Kids. Go to worldfitforkids.org. You can find out. But the police love us because we keep those kids off the street for 3 hours after school, where a lot of them get in trouble. And tell their parents. Most of them are single parents. Most of them are being raised by mother only. And it's sad. It's sad, but I'm very proud of that program. It's a good program. It's still going. Yeah. Got a question? Go for it.
Since you were a role model for so many people, I was just kind of wondering who you kind of looked up to when you were younger.
Well, my parents were awesome. I'm very lucky to have the parents I had. My dad passed 6 years ago. He's the best man in my way. He went in for a hip replacement. He got a staph infection. He couldn't fight it off. He was 84. He couldn't fight it off, but he was still all there mentally and stuff. So, but as far as influence acting-wise, I love, my mom was huge in introducing me to old Hollywood. I love the golden age of Hollywood. So from Spencer Tracy to Katharine Hepburn to Anthony Quinn, who ends up playing Zeus on my show. I got stories from Anthony Quinn. And, later, beyond that, it was Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It was, those guys were huge for me. I got a wonderful letter from Paul Newman that's in my office next to Anthony Quinn, next to Arnie Palmer and stuff. I'm going to tell very quickly. We can go a little bit over, right? I'm going to tell really quick. Anthony Quinn, number one, when he played Zeus, he was 78 years old at the time, and I said, Tony, I called Mr. Quinn. He also said, call me Tony. I said, Quinn, why would you do this? I mean, they're nice movies. I mean, they're good budget movies. And I said, why would you do television at all? I mean, 6 Academy Award nominations, 2 Academy Award wins. And he said, Kevin, I'm 78. I've always wanted to play Zeus. When will I ever get a chance to play Zeus? And it was so interesting to work with him because he never wanted to block scenes. He always wanted to have me come, just me, into his camper to go over the lines and stuff. And he says, this is crap, I'm taking all this out. He just crossed everything out. And he goes, I'm going to say something like this, and you'll think of something, won't you, sweetheart? And I'm going, so, I mean, I'm a script guy, you know. I mean, I don't mind talking to writers and changing dialogue, but I let them know, and I said, this makes more sense to me, can I say this? But he just changed everything. And we had this huge scene where he's supposed to appear. They put up like 5 cameras and this big master with all these different angles, and I bring the horse in, and they're telling Mr. Quinn after they call him in, he sits on 2 bales of hay, he's dressed up in the zoo stuff, and he sits down, and the director starts telling him about the scene, what we're going to shoot. He spends a good 10, 12 minutes going over the entire scene. Kevin's going to come in with the horse, but here, you're going to appear here, you guys are going to walk over here, blah, blah, blah. And when he finally finishes, Quinn goes, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. He says, I'm gonna appear right here and sit here the entire scene. That's like 6 pages of dialogue. It's a long scene. And then, so when the scene happened, I come on the horse, I end up working my way over to him and sitting on 1 bale hay lower to him, looking up to him. He's my father. It's still one of my favorite scenes. And he wasn't doing it to be a jerk. He's an actor. And his reasoning is, I'm Zeus. I'm the king of the gods. People come to me, I go to them. And he's right. It was enough for him to make the appearance. So then I go to him, and it was just a cool scene. And I'm going to do one that's more like PG-13. So we ate dinner a lot. Every Saturday we go to Antoine's. It's a really beautiful Italian restaurant just outside of Auckland in Parnell, which is a suburb in Auckland. And I'm sitting where you are, he's sitting there, his wife Yolanda, who we met on the set of Lawrence of Arabia, is there, and Eric Grundeman, my other American producer, the only other American that was there all 7 years, all the time with me, is here. He would say, Yolanda, he goes, Yolanda, go to the bathroom. She says, I don't want to go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, he says. She gets up and says, Mom, you want to talk about the girls? I know you want to talk about the girls. She's humble the whole way. So, he's watching, making sure she's out of earshot. He reaches across the table, grabs my hand. He says, sweetheart, what do you know about this thing they call the G-spot? I said, Mr. Quinn, you got 15 kids. You've been there. Trust me. So, anyway, okay, I've got a number of chapters here. I know people are all yelling out at the same time. We'll play time to play one of these chapters. We got Colossal Massive, taking abuse, kicking butt, what's his name, throwing people, Herculean humor, carry big sticks, swordplay creatures, hitting a guy with another guy, hunky or kisses. Humor. Is there anything? Which one? Humor? I heard that the most. Okay, Herculean humor. Play it.
Can't leave the store jar.
Feeling this is gonna blow.
Usually on our journeys, I'm the one that does the babbling.
Babbling? What were you saying I'm babbling? Like I'm talking incessantly babbling, mumbling anything that pops in my head babbling, that kind of babbling?
It's not slimy, it's kind of a doe. A deer.
One big website.
I directed this one, Bowling.
No time to spare. I knew this thing would slice.
You're not going anywhere but with me, Hurt. No what's about it.
Why is he purple? You were trying to hurt my friend.
I'm your friend.
Why are you purple?
That little guy from the village, he picked my pocket.
You don't have any pockets.
Figure of speech. He picked my pocket.
You don't have any pocket!
Figure of speech.
What are you doing?
It's good for the pores.
Do I know you? We need help, monsieur. I was kidding.